This is a very simple whole body exercise with dumbbells involving 10 exercises, hitting all the big push, pull, hip hinge, a bit of core involved as well. All you need is a bench and some dumbbells, and realistically, if you don't have a bench, you can get away with just doing dumbbells. Enjoy. Let me know how you get on. This is how I like to teach a goblet squat. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what kind of squat you're doing, legs are very, very similar. You want to have them roughly shoulder width apart, feet turned out, and that allows your hips to open up as you go down into the squat. Yeah, with a goblet squat, the dumbbell is going to be in front of us. I'm using a dumbbell for this. Hands under, elbows tucked in, feet roughly shoulder width apart. I'm going to put my knees forward, hips down. My elbows will get inside my knees, and then power through my heels and squeeze my quads and glutes on the way up. Yeah, breathe. This is how I like to teach a Romanian deadlift, or an RDL for short. So you have your feet kind of hip width apart, yeah, and you want your knees to be soft. If that is locked out and hyperextended, that is soft, and then the knees don't move. Imagine that someone's pushing your hips all the way back until your hamstrings light up, and you couldn't go any lower without bending your back. Yeah, if you start hinging from your kind of lower spine, that is not a good place to be. You want to keep your back nice and engaged, your back nice and solid, and let the hinging come from the hips. Yeah, so with this in mind, do dumbbells in my hands, shoulders roll back and down, soft knees, hips get pushed. I can't go any lower there without bending my back. And I'm going to squeeze my glutes forward and come into the movement. Yeah, so hips back, hips forward. This is a bent over row with dumbbells, and I would teach it's very similar to what I teach a Romanian deadlift. You want the same kind of neutral spine position, but this time you can bend your knees as much as you want. It doesn't really matter where you put your feet. So get comfortable in your feet and comfortable in the base. Keep a nice neutral spine. You can pick the weights up, and then you're going to literally pull your shoulders back and elbows up as high as you can. Yeah, shoulders, then elbows. That is a row, activating back with dumbbells. Bent over row of dumbbells. So this is going to be a chest press with dumbbells. So get yourself on the bench, get yourself nice and comfy, shoulders all back and down again. You're going to bring the dumbbells down the shoulders. You're going to power up into the air. Down the shoulders, power up in the air. Keeping shoulders rolled back and down, and keeping core engaged. If you're driving through the floor with your feet, you'll get a nice natural kind of curve in the lower spine. Then you can just drive this movement up and squeeze. It's activating your chest muscles. Horizontal push. Chest press. So this is a dumbbell pullover on the bench, kind of engaging lats again. So what I'm going to do is get yourself a shoulder on the bench, nice tabletop position form of the bench, dumbbell gripped like this, and then we're going to let the dumbbell come all the way over, engaging lats and squeezing back up again. Try to keep your core pulled in, and don't try and flare from your hips, and let your back do the work. Through the stretch over the back of the head, feel that back engaging, and contract your back to pull the hands back over. So a dumbbell pullover for the lats. This is a 4-point Arnie press done with dumbbells. So when I'm doing a bench without the support of the back, I always put my feet underneath me so I can kind of stand up. So when I've got a nice solid base, hands are going to be in front of the face. You're going to open, up, down, and close. So you're open, up, down, and close. You're externally rotating the hands and the elbows, driving up in the air, coming down, and then closing back up again. That's how Arnold 4-point press with dumbbells. This is a simple seated bicep curl with the dumbbells. Yeah, you're going to just sit on the bench, squeeze up, keep the elbows tucked in, and let the arm come down to the side. So keep the elbows tucked into the side, squeeze up and twist at the top, all the way back down to the side. Yeah, squeeze up, squeeze front of the arms, nice control on the way down. This is a laying tricep extension with dumbbells. So I'm going to lay down, get the hands above the head. You can see it, I've kind of worked my hands and my thumbs so it's kind of touching the top of the dumbbell. Then I'm going to bend my elbows so they touch the shoulders and squeeze back up again. Nice controlled on the way down, touch the shoulders, and then power all the way up again. There, all down to the shoulders, and power back up. I'm going to do some twists with a dumbbell now. The trick with this is either have your feet on the floor together or up. Elbows locked into the side. You're going to rotate your spine like you're trying to rotate, like wringing out a towel basically. And twist, twist, and twist. And each side is 1, and 2, and 3. So keep feet up if you can, engage in lower abs, and that twisting motion, you're going to get all your internal, external obliques. Twist. This is knees to elbows. So in a nice kind of push-up position or high plank position, shoulders roll back and down. Then you bring one knee up to touch elbow, same knee to same elbow, other side. Each side is 1. Try and keep your whole torso nice and still and stiff. So there's a straight line between your shoulders, hips, and knees. Knee to elbow ab exercise.